Are you having fun in your business? This is a question that most entrepreneurs seem to avoid, but it might actually be the one that is seriously going to change everything. So, are you actually having fun in your business? If not, let's talk about why and how you can shift that today. So, there are three things that definitely can get in the way. So, number one, you're choosing what you think you should do rather than what you really want to do. So you're building based on, say, old ways of doing things, strategies that come from someone else, maybe someone else's formula for how to do business. When you are not connecting yourself to your truth, to your alignment, we lose all the joy because how you get aligned is not the way that I am aligned. So if I gave you some advice and said, oh, you have to do this, and this, and then you will be successful, it could work for you, but you probably won't feel a whole lot of joy. Sometimes we do things because someone has actually told us that we're really good at that. This is something that I've fallen into in my business. We feel like if we're excellent at something, if we've got a history with doing something, this is what we need to do in our business. That is just a story. It's not you actually going, what lights that fire within me? What is it that keeps me wanting to keep coming back? And trust me, it's not doing things someone else's way. So think about, how do you feel when you are doing you? That's going to be your joy. That's going to be fun, even though there can be some other stretches. Let me tell you a little story. So not long ago, I essentially lost my job. I resigned, but I did this as a graceful way to exit rather than being pushed out. I was in no way prepared for this, even though I had been running my business part-time for a number of years. Obviously, the universe was going, you've done enough, it's time to get out of there. So I was in a state of fear after that happened. Where was I going to get the money? How would I keep my house? Blah, 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 blah. All of those stories that we tell ourselves. But in that state of fear, I immediately looked at ways to quickly expand my part-time biz into something that I thought would be successful by doing all of the right things. So I did what other people expected. I did what coaches had told me to do, what coaches were telling me to do. And there was some expansion. It did kind of feel okay. But after a little while, I realized that there wasn't the true joy and the true fun involved in what I was creating. I was feeling burdened by it. And then I had one of my coaches say to me something that sent me back to my design. I'm talking about my human design here. Looking for the breadcrumbs of what my true genius is. I knew this stuff, but fear had put me in my head instead of putting me into my knowingness. So I did that, and then I knew what I was meant to be doing. I knew what my natural genius was, and I knew that what I had been doing had been coming from a place of fear. So reflect on, where might you be doing things that are as for someone else in that sense, following someone else's system, doing something the way that we're meant to do it. Number two, you're focusing your energy too much on like those minor tasks or the background stuff that runs a business, but it's not your true genius. Let's face it, there are lots of responsibilities, lots of background structures and tasks and things that have to be in place to succeed in your business, particularly if you're working as a solopreneur and you're having to do it all. But sometimes we can actually get caught up in focusing so much on those kinds of tasks that we are failing to make ourselves energetically visible by doing the things that are truly, genuinely fun for us. Think about the energy of fun. When we bring that through, that is far more magnetic than doing all of the right things, making sure that we've got our website done and we've got our email sequence done and we've got all of our payment links done. I'm not saying those things are not important, but where's the priority? Our to-do lists and busy work can feel like we're making progress, but often there's something else happening beneath that, something that can feel safe and productive rather than being stretched and uncomfortable. So the other thing I would say is thinking about being stretched and uncomfortable. It could be, how is that fun? It's not if you're actually caught up in doing busy work rather than having as your primary focus your genius. But when you are in your genius, there is going to be some stretching and playing around because this is part of your alignment. We don't step into our true alignment and grow within our alignment by never feeling uncomfortable. So ultimately, if we are doing things from who we truly are, the joy, the satisfaction, and the fun will be part of it, as well as some slightly uncomfortable feelings at times. We don't need to avoid those feelings. We just need to recognize what they are and embrace them. This is not something we need to avoid. So if you are spending more time, say tweaking your Canva visuals than actually sharing your gifts, it's time to ask yourself what's behind that. Ask yourself, am I putting my genius at the center of my work, at the center of my business? And if I'm not, why? So this is a question that I had to very recently ask myself again. Why was it that I was starting basically every single day in my business doing the background busy work instead of doing the things that are my true genius? Because I was doing those necessary things, they energetically drained me. So by starting my day with them, I was essentially blocking myself from tapping into my genius each and every day. And I was feeling quite drained. So part of why I did that was because I was hiding away. This was, I suppose, like a fear of failure, a fear of what would happen if I truly unleashed my genius on the world. So ask yourself, are you hiding? Are you blocking? What's actually going on? All right, number 3, you're pleasing others instead of pleasing you. So no matter how we are designed, we all have some kind of a people-pleasing trigger. This is part of our life conditioning. And it's something that we really need to recognize when it's happening. Often we will have multiple triggers that switch on the people-pleasing modality. So what is it that you gain by pleasing someone else? And how are you actually giving pieces of yourself away to gain some kind of acceptance or recognition? Really, this is something that it is so important as entrepreneurs for us to dig into, because this can be the reason why we are building things within our business that just don't feel fun, don't feel joyful, If you are building offers to meet someone else's need, which does sound a little bit against some of the usual business advice, but seriously, your business is you. So if your business is not coming from you, from your joy, from what you want to express, if what you're putting out there is for someone else, it is going to drain you. It is not going to give you joy and excitement and fun, which your business should ultimately do. It should be a joy every single day to get up and go, woohoo, I'm working in my business today. That's what you need to try and do. How can you turn it into pleasing yourself rather than pleasing someone else? Make your joy, your fun, the true metric of your business. You need to build a business that nourishes you, and that is your true success. And that is the energy that you will take out into the world as a spiritual entrepreneur. Don't block that. Don't allow it's usually not someone else. It's your perception of what will please someone else. Let's be honest here. So if you are having the expectations of how people will react to you get in your way, you need to just bust that shit apart, I've got to tell you. That is never going to nourish you and allow you to have true growth as a person and as a business. Fun isn't a luxury in our business. It's a signpost to us. When your business just feels heavy, feels like a burden, it's not about you needing to turn up more and more and more and, do all of those different things and take on all the advice that everyone gives you. Just stop. Come into yourself and really ask yourself some questions. What needs to be part of your business to light you up? So let me know in the comments, what part of your business do you actually really love doing? If you're ready to explore how to bring more of your genius and more of your joy and fun into your business and kind of deal with some of that other stuff, drop me a message, as I've got something very special coming very, very soon. Make sure you explore more videos on business and alignment, human design, etc., just by clicking the little button down below.